Hello, my name is Ray Williams. I am from a company called Music Marketing, and I'm here at Sweetwater. We're going to show you Pianoteq 4. Pianoteq 4 is a new physical modeling a piano virtual instrument by MODARTT out of France. It is excellent. It is very light, and it's very adaptable to the way you play. So here we go. Let's take a look. This is Pianoteq here. Pianoteq is basically divided into two sections, rough sections. This is your sound design area, and this is your outputs area. There are many, many different patches and sub-patches that the program will come with. These are called add-ons. So it's not just about piano. There's Rhodes sounds and Wurlitzers, clavinets, vibraphones, etc. So it's more than just piano. But the main thing we will concentrate on, of course, is piano today. We're using the main stock grand that Pianoteq 4 comes with to illustrate what we're going to do today. Now, just a quick brief on sampling and physical modeling. This is a physical model piano. So you're not hearing samples. You're hearing a calculation of a piano sound based on an algorithm. Now, this algorithm has parameters, and those parameters you yourself can access. So you can actually modify the way this piano sounds. So it's kind of like a synthesizer, but it's not, the traditional synthesis. It's physical modeling. But you have access to modify the piano in really incredible ways, sort of the way the physical device would be modified. So to illustrate that, I'm going to play back this piece by Chopin, and I'm going to modify the physical model so you can hear how wide the piano sound can actually change from this same single preset. And I have to tell you that Pianoteq is 20 megabytes of actual storage. It's very, very tiny. It takes about a second to install it. So this is nothing like the other virtual pianos on the market. So let's just hear some music for a second. Now you have tuning, which is very basic. I mean, and some instruments require different types of tuning, but it's very easy to change the tuning here. I mean, imagine trying to do this with samples. It's instant because it's being synthesized in real time. Also, tuning scales could be accessed. You could access them again with the click of a button, including some scales that are very, very distant and very far from what we use in Western pop music. Now, of course, this is wonderful for people who are teaching microtuning at universities and colleges and so on. But again, it's very, very, very simple, very quick. It's instant to do it. Now, part of the tuning also involves this thing called unison width. So the unison width essentially is the difference in tuning between those three piano strings, because the piano is made up of three strings, and each one is not exactly tuned the same. So depending how wide that tuning is, you'll create more of a honky-tonk type piano, versus a more standard acoustic piano. So listen to what this does to the sound as I increase the width. And of course, it's very dry, very, very uniform, unity tuning at this point. So again, you would adjust this for taste. You're playing some jazz, maybe you want a little bit more unison width and so on. And these are all, again, it's the overstretching of the octaves. So it's, again, the piano tuning, an A and the A above that A is not exactly on. You can adjust you can stretch those octaves, and this is the percentage you would stretch it. And you hear this more in the higher notes. Right? This is, again, small minor adjustments that you're making to the model as to how that sound comes out of this virtual instrument. Again, not possible with something that's fixed as a sample. This is the amount of direct sound you're going to hear. You can hear there's a lot more sustain at this setting and less over here. So you would set up your tuning as you please, as is required for that particular application of your piano sound. And don't forget, there's so many other piano sounds in here. You can do this to all of these. So you could see how many variations you can create from just a simple model. Now, over here, the voicing of the pianos is very interesting, because here you can change the way the hammer hits the piano. Now, for example, one of the cool effects that I like to do is to invert this. So for pianissimo to fortissimo, you can basically change the hammer, the way they affect the piano, by reversing them. So now if you hit softly, it makes a loud sound. You hit hard, it makes a soft sound. And with the spectrum, I mean, you can really modify this piano sound. So this is how the actual piano is being hit by the felt hammers on the strings. And you're controlling this. Unprecedented for any virtual instrument. This is the amount of noise from the actual hammer itself. You can hear more of the hammer there, of course. And this is where you're striking the strings themselves. Now this is the impedance. This over here now is the actual physical cavity of the piano, the actual way the piano is constructed, if you will, the furniture. The impedance of the soundboard. Now this is not something you can adjust normally on a piano, but of course in a model you can. So you can make an extremely long soundboard or a very short one with a low cutoff and short string length. This is their sympathetic resonance of the strings. And you can see that we have made a very, very different piano sound from a standard piano sound. This is incredible control that you have as a pianist, as somebody that loves to interact with your instrument. You have a lot of control over this instrument, unprecedented control for a piano virtual instrument. That's why we like to call it fourth generation instrument. Now, in addition to this, we have this note editing place in the editing window, where each note itself can have a different setting, and it depends on which parameter you pick. For example, the hammer hardness that we have just selected could be modified, but you can do it by the string, exactly by the note. Right? And there's certain parameters here for smoothing if you try to do this and you didn't do a very nice job, so it can kind of even out the contours that you've created. So again, this is in the Pro version, the Pianoteq Pro, for somebody that wants to do this. And you have, again, all these parameters that we just showed. You can detune, for example, just the notes in the middle, and smooth that out to make it nicer and smoother. So all of these controls, unprecedented and it really undoable on a sampled instrument, because simply they recorded the sounds. There's not much you can do. You have to record the sound another way. Big advantage over sampling. Now, in addition to this, and I'm just going to reset our sound here, you can control the output, the way the Pianoteq instrument accesses the outside world, depending on your interface. I only have 2 outputs here, but depending on your interface, you can mic or simulate the miking of this instrument with up to 5 different microphones. By turning them on, for example, I've turned microphone number 3 on. Number 1 is really direct sound. Number 2 is already there with the lid open. I can close the lid. But this, I've just added number 3. So I could put number 3, for example, way up high, and towards the back of this instrument. Now, this is the volume of number 3 in the output of my unit. We could, reduce the direct sound and hear more of the. See, now I'm hearing more of the room sound. I could turn on another mic, put it on the other side, towards the front of the piano. So you can see it's really just an incredible amount of control that you have over not just the actual tuning of the piano, the voicing of the piano, and the design of the piano, but you have a three-dimensional spatial control as well, because you can kind of model the way the piano is mic'd with up to 5 different microphones. So we can put another one. I like to always stick one right below or right inside. Right, and you can balance each one, or you can send them to different outputs. If I had multiple outputs, then I could send the room mic somewhere else. So you could see the level of flexibility that this instrument offers a musician is really unprecedented. There is nothing that is as close to this. Now, in addition to this, the instrument also gives you the phenomenon of the add-ons. So, for example, this is a Rhodes piano. So this piano now does not use a model of an actual piano felt hitting those 3 strings. It's a metal hammer hitting another piece of metal, which is what the Rhodes is all about. So this is a slightly different starting model, but all the controls are there for how that electroacoustic instrument interacts to make that sound. And again, here you have them. So you can do the same thing with the Rhodes. And of course, if you're not into programming, there are tons of Rhodes presets here. And there are others. The Wurlitzer. There's so many, my mouse is going all over the place. And there's a clavinet. Now, you wouldn't play this song on a clavinet, of course. You'd play like something from Stevie Wonder, maybe. But again, all these devices have controls. All the same controls that we did. And of course, if you pick a harpsichord, it changes to the correct tuning and scale for that particular instrument. So you could preset these. So again, for teaching, this is a tremendous teaching application. If you are working in a university, you want to teach students about different instruments, you can run this application easily, and they can go in and actually create variations of instruments and correctly tune them accordingly. So let's move on to some other sounds so you can hear some of the variety that we have in this instrument. Things like glockenspiel, marimbas, now these are called add-ons, so you could purchase these or you can get free ones. This is a xylophone. This is a steel drum, not again typical. Not your typical patch that you would use for this, but the point is the palette grows. If you buy Pianoteq, you can start with Pianoteq Stage, for example, which is just plays the library. When you want to do some editing, you move up to Pianoteq Standard. When you want to do individual note-by-note editing and have different parameters for each of the 88 notes on the keyboard, you can move up to Pro. So all of these things are available in Pianoteq, and of course, you can get these historic pianos that are free, downloaded. You can download these and just listen to them. This is the Graph piano. That is a free piano on the Pianoteq website. All of these are free pianos, historical pianos that have been modeled Okay, so for the price point, when you look at the options are 40, 60, 260 gigabyte pianos that take, hours to install, and they give you a fixed sound. You basically have that sound forever and ever and ever. This instrument grows. So, this is Pianoteq 4. Pianoteq 5 will have another set of sounds, another additional set of parameters, more refinements in the existing models. So it's something that's always going to be growing. So this is probably the best investment you could make as a tool for making piano sounds in your DAW. I can't recommend it highly enough. It is really a fantastic tool, and as far as for many of us who are using laptops or small devices, laptops don't have 4 terabyte hard drive. So to put these massive libraries on a laptop is just not practical, especially now the laptop's going to more SSD drives, which are smaller, more high performance, but smaller. Well, that was our look at Pianoteq, the physical modeling virtual instrument by MODARTT. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable to watch. For more information, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. And thanks again for watching. Have a nice day.